All right, so 3.2 is about the triangle sum theorem, which we already kind of started talking about in class yesterday. So again, hopefully this is kind of a review and an easier section to kind of ease into your week-long break next week. So triangle sum theorem just says that the sum of the measures of the angles in a triangle equals 180 degrees. So that 180 degrees is kind of the magic number, especially with triangles, but we see that a lot in geometry. So again, all that's just saying that x plus y plus z, all three angles in the triangle, has to equal 180 degrees. All right, so if we were to find this missing angle, all we're going to do is say 1, so angle 1 plus 117 plus 33 equals 180 degrees, right? We're just adding all three together, knowing that they must make 180. So angle 1 plus 150, if I add these two together, equals 180. Subtract 150. So the measure of angle 1 equals 30 degrees. And again, we can always go back, double check. 30 plus 33 plus 117 does in fact equal 180 degrees. All right, we're going to look at a couple examples like this that are a little bit more complex, and we're going to have to use some things from before. So first thing, we have to solve for x and for y, but if you notice right here, we have vertical angles. Okay, we know from last unit that vertical angles are always congruent. So if this is 85, this has to be 85. So the measure of angle x is 85 degrees. That's important because now I have two angles out of the three for this triangle. So now I can use triangle sum to find the third missing angle. So y plus 85 plus 55 has to equal 180. So y plus 140 is 180. Subtract the 140. So y is 40. Okay, so again, we found x because we had our vertical angles, then we used triangle sum theorem to find y. I have to do it in that order because if I don't know x first, then I can't use triangle sum theorem, right? I couldn't solve this equation, x plus y plus 55 equals 180. I don't have enough information there. I have two variables, and I can't solve that. Okay, so find x first using vertical angles, then using triangle sum theorem to find y. Okay, another one. So same thing, we have to find a and b. If I were to look at this and I said a plus b plus 28 equals 180. Well, that's true, right? Because this is a triangle. However, again, we can't have two variables in an equation and be able to solve for it. However, I do have information here because those two form a line, right? And a line is 180 degrees. So I know that b plus 65 has to equal 180. So b is 115. Okay. Now because I know that that's 115, right? I can do a plus 115 plus 28 equals 180. So we can't always work in the order of a first, then b, right? X first, then y. We just have to go based on the information that's given to us. So 115 plus 28 is 143. And then subtract that from 180. So A is 37 degrees. Okay, so that prior knowledge of angle pairs that we talked about last unit is definitely going to be important as we move through the rest of these examples. Okay, another thing just to note, this is just going to make your life a little bit easier. It's just kind of a shortcut. If you know that you have a right triangle, right, we see that right angle here, then we know that the other two angles have to equal 90 degrees, right? Because if all three have to equal 180 and I take away 90 from this, then there's only 90 degrees left, right? So x plus y has to equal 90 if you have a right triangle. So again, that word that we use is complementary. Complementary means two angles add up to 90. Okay, so in this one, again, we see we have our 90-degree angle. So we know that the measure of angle A plus the measure of angle B has to equal 90 degrees. So then I can just plug in 2x plus 3x equals 90. Oops. 90 divided by 5 is 18. So if it asked me to, I could plug that back in. This would be 36, and this would be 54. Okay, it didn't say to find the angle measures, but again, it's always good to double check, plug it in. Now, if you forgot about just adding them to 90, right, I could write an equation that says 2x plus 3x plus 90 equals 180, all three of those, all three of the angles, and that would still work, right? 5x plus 90 equals 180, subtract 90, and I get 90 left, right? So that puts me exactly back to where I was before. So if you forget that little shortcut, you should still be able to find the right answer, no problem. All right, lastly, we did one kind of like this in class yesterday. But so we see the measures of the angles. As soon as we see the angles of a triangle, we know that that means they equal 180. Okay, so we have an x plus 2, an x plus 4, and a 2x plus 10. So I'm going to take x plus 2 plus x plus 4 plus 2x plus 10 and set that equal to 180. Okay, however you solve these, draw your line if you need to, add your like terms. So 4x plus 16, let's do this just to differentiate, equals 180. And from there, you can solve like normal. So 180 minus 16, 4x equals 164, divide by 4, and x equals 41. Okay, now again, it says to find the measure of each angle. So let's plug this in. 41 plus 2, this is 43. 41 plus 4, this is 45. And then 2 times 41 plus 10 would be 82 plus 10, so 92. Okay, and again, we should just double check. 43 plus 45 plus 92, does that equal 180? And it sure does, so we are done. All right, so that's it for 3.2. Pretty straightforward. We will review this again in class tomorrow, so I will see you then.